Hi, welcome to my video on geometric sequence. In any sequence, the terms are denoted as T1, T2, T3, T4, etc. up to Tn. Each successive term has the value of n one more than the previous term. Any two successive terms can be written as Tn and Tn plus 1, where n belongs to the natural numbers. So what we have, if we have a sequence, then we have a T1. So know that this is a 1, this is 1 plus 1 is 2, so the next one is, etc., is 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4, so you're always adding 1 on. The definition of a geometric sequence: a sequence that has a constant ratio between any two successive terms. So the ratio is Tn plus 1 over Tn, where n belongs to the natural numbers. So let's find the ratio in each of these. So the ratio is T2. So this is T1, T2, T3, T4. So T2 over T1 is 2 over 1, which is 2. So T3 over T2 is 4 over 2, which is 2. And T4 over T3 is 8 over 4, which is 2. So the ratio, which I'm going to call R, the ratio is 2. And so notice this is 2 is 1 more than 1. 3 is 1 more than 2. 4 is 1 more than 3. And again, this third one here, this is T1, T2, T3, T4, the terms. So T2 divided by T1 is 9 divided by 3. Ratio is 3. T3 divided by T2 is 27 divided by 9, which is 3. T4 divided by T3 is 81 divided by 27, and that gives you a 3. So the ratio is 3. And as you can see, let's go back. If you have a 1 going to 2, you're doubling it. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So you can see you're doubling it. You're multiplying by 2. Here, you got a 3 times 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, so you can see the rate, you're multiplying by 3, the ratio is 3. And what's the ratio here? So this is T1, T2, T3, T4. So T2 over T1 is 12 over 48, and 12 over 48, 6 goes into 12 twice, 6 goes into 48, 6 eighths are 48, so you get 6 eighths are 48, so you get 1 quarter. You're taking 1 quarter, you're dividing by 4. So T3 over T2 is 3 over 12. 3 into 3 goes once, 3 into 12 goes 4, you're getting the 1 quarter. T4 over T3 is 3 quarters divided by 3. So that's 3 quarters is 3 over 1, so that's 3 quarters times the reciprocal, which is 1 over 3. The 3's cancel, and you get, they cancel, you get a quarter. So the ratio is 1 quarter. So if you see, 48 times 1 quarter gives you 12. 12 times 1 quarter is a 3. 3 times 1 quarter is 3 quarters. So again, a geometric sequence is a ratio. And I did a unit on sequences and series, but they were arithmetic, they were arithmetic, which is linear, and a quadratic, which is, as you can see in my unit. So we have a, check out that unit that's on sequence and series. And series means a series are adding up. So check that out. So is the sequence geometric? Remember, a geometric sequence has a ratio. And if you look at that series, and sequence I did, if you do a linear sequence, linear degree 1, you have a level 1 difference. If you do a quadratic, you have a level 2 difference. So you have to look at series and sequence that I did on those videos to see what I'm talking about. If you haven't done it, then you need to look it over. But a sequence is, notice there's commas, and it goes on and on and on. So what's the ratio here? So we just go 8 divided by 2 is 4. 32 divided by 8 is 4. 128 divided by 32 is 4. So the ratio is 4. So yes, because the ratio is 4 between successive terms, it's a geometric sequence. And here, 6 divided by 18 is 1 over 3. And 3 divided by 6 is 1 over 2. So they're not the same ratio. So no, because the ratio is not the same. So let's look at it further. What about the equation that represents a geometric sequence? So the equation that we look at is Tn. Notice you're talking about terms, not x's and y's. Tn is the nth term. T1 is the first term, and r to the n minus 1. And the reason that you have an n minus 1 again, because if you look at the sequence of 2, 8, 32, 128, remember, this is a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3, and that's a 4, because this is term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. So you start with a 1. So in order, when you start with a 1, we have to take off 1 in the pattern to look at the n minus 1, where T1 is the first term and R is the ratio. So here we go. Let's find the formula for each. And the formula for each is Tn is T1 and R to the n minus 1. So first of all, we need the first term. So T1 is a 5. So we have Tn, T1 is a 5. Now we need to get the ratio. So what's 10 divided by 5? 2. What's 20 divided by 10? 2. What's 40 divided by 20? 2. So the ratio is 2. So you put 2 here to the n minus 1. So that's the formula that represents this sequence. Now this is the first term. So if you put, this is 1, term 1, T1. So if you put a 1 into this equation, 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 to the 0 is 1, we get a 5. This is 2, T2. So if you put T2 in, n is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 to the 1 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So you can see that this equation is correct. Now let's look at this one. Again, the formula is Tn equals the first term, and it's r to the n minus 1. So T1 is equal to 8. So we have an 8. Now we need to find the ratio. So it was 12 divided by 8. 4 into 12 goes 3. 4 into 8 goes 2. 18 divided by 12. 6 into 18 goes 3. 6 into 12 goes 2. 27 divided by 18. 9 to 27 goes 3. 9 to 18 goes 2. So the ratio is 3 over 2. So we put 3 over 2 in the bracket. So to signify that n minus 1 is to the power of 3 over 2. So Tn is 8, bracket. The ratio is 3 over 2 n minus 1. Okay, let's continue with another question. And again, you don't forget, you can pause the video at any time and work these out. Find the first 4 terms of the geometric sequence. Notice this is geometric. That means that because it's geometric, the ratio is going to be a 2. And that means that T1 is going to be a 6. So the first term is 6 and the ratio is 2. So even if you did that, just watch. If you took the first term, so the first term is 6 and the ratio is 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 12 is 24. 2 times 24 is 48. And that's the first 4 terms in that sequence. There's one way to do it because that's your first term, and this is your ratio. Ratio is what you're multiplying each successive term by. Another way to do it is to go T1 is 6 and put a 1 in for n. So T1, 1, that's a 0, 6, 1 gives you 6. T2, 6, 2 to the 2 minus 1. N is 2. So n is 2. So you put 2 here. T2, n is 2. Put a 2 in. You get 6. That's 2 to the 1. That's 6 times 2, which is 12. And you do T3, 6, 2, 3 minus 1. And 3 minus 1 is 2. Again, you got to work your power first, which is a 4. And that gives you 24. And T4, 6, 2, 4 minus 1, 6, 2 to the 3. And you do your power first to get the 8. And 6 8s are 48. So, if you know it fast way, we say that's your first term. And you got a ratio of 2, so you multiply. You get it right fast. Or you can work it out like that. And again, number 2 is that T1 is 81, and your ratio is 2/3. So if you look at it that way, first one is 81. So you take 2/3 of 81. That's 2/3 of 81. 3 and 81 goes 27, so that's a 54. 3 into 54 gives you 18, is it? So 3 into 54, 1 gives you 18. 2 times 18 is 36. And 3 into 36 goes 12. 2 12s is 24. So that's the first 4 terms. And the long way is to go T1 is 81, 2/3 of, and you go 1 minus 1. So it's 81, 2/3 is 0. You get 81, and that's a 1. Remember, any number except 0. You cannot have 0 to the 0 power, but any number other than this number, no matter what this number is, except 0. You cannot have a 0 here because it'll be undefined. So any number other than 0, you'll always get a 1. So 81 times 1 is 81. So T2, 81. And 2 goes in. 81, 2/3 to the 1. 81, 2/3. And 2/3 of 81 is 54. And T3, you can see now that it's not too hard to work it out like this. And that gives me a 2. So 81 is, that's 4, 9. So 9 into 81 goes 9. And 4 9s is 36. And T4 is 81, 2/3, 4 minus 1. And 4 minus 1 is a 3. And 81. 2 cubed is 8. 3 cubed is 27. 27 goes into 81 3 times. 3 8s are 24. So that's your first 4 terms in your sequence. So just looking at the geometric sequence, because the geometric sequence got a ratio, and that's what these exponential functions are all about, this idea that comes out of a ratio. And if you like my video, click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, wish to click the subscribe button. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.